Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Wild Wild West, 1989. I love this flick. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. Gets a very low 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb. My coworker warned me about this one. That it got bad reputation. It received 5 Razzies, and Robert Conrad from the original TV show was so disgusted by this movie that he went to the Razzies to pick up 3 of the awards. It was a financial flop. It was the most movie for its time when adjusted for inflation. I'll give you the numbers here. Okay. So it had a $170 million budget at the time of its release. And it grossed $222.1 million. So it made a slight profit, but nowhere near what the producers were expecting. I think the music video got a Razzie, and for worst original song, I was actually laughing when I first heard it on the bonus features. People say that Will Smith is unfunny. This one, but I must have laughed like 5 times. And it's got the immortal Ling. She's actually bald-headed in the bonus features. She shows off her arse in this one, and so does Selma Hayek. Kind of surprised me, this movie. And those two are really the reason to watch, but there's some lack of continuity granted in the beginning with the nitroglycerin. There's a packed bar / whorehouse in the beginning of the movie, and the redneck dude with the phonographic ear, he played by Ted Levine. He kicks the cart full of nitroglycerin, and it sets the bar / whorehouse, I guess, or maybe it's a different bar because it's empty. It's all very confusing, but sets that on fire, and then it jumps to the next unrelated scene. So that scene kind of threw me off, and I don't know. The movie grew on me, though. It's got a lot of cool explosions. The 2 ladies that I mentioned, the inane dialogue, some of the puns that Will Smith come up with are so bad that you can't help but chuckle at them. It's like one of those so bad that it's good type movies. Oh, and there was a lawsuit from the original writer of the TV pilot. He sued Warner Brothers over this movie, and he ended up dying in the middle of the lawsuit when it was being settled. And Warner Brothers paid his family between $600,000 and $1.5 million. So there you go. called a steampunk, whatever that is. I never heard that term before. Steampunk. It's a subgenre of fantasy and speculative fiction that came into prominence in the 80s and early 90s. Era of a world wherein steam power is widely used, usually the 19th century, and often set in Victorian era England, but with prominent elements of either science fiction or fantasy, such as fictional technological inventions. Okay, I get it. So it's kind of like, it reminded me of the adventures of Briscoe County Jr., but I thought it was a lot better. Steampunk film than the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. TV show. So, anyways, it takes place during the presidency of Ulysses S. Grant. Whenever that was, I guess after Andrew Johnson. He was a famous Union general who burned Atlanta to the ground, of course. And he's portrayed as the hero in the movie, which is kind of lame, but I'd say that the rest of the movie kind of makes up for it. And I like the Loveless character, the bad guy. He's so he's really hamming it up for the camera and kind of overacting in this one. Another great aspect of this film. There are so many, I could go through all of them, but I'm on energy drink right now. I can't remember everything about the movie. It's just suffice to say it takes place in the mid 19th century, sometime after the Civil War, and during the steam engine era. And Kevin Kline plays one of the Secret Service agents in the movie. Will Smith plays the other one. They're trying to go after Confederate rednecks, as Will Smith calls them. And so they jump on a train. It's got all these gadgets and booby traps and stuff like that. And Emmet Walsh is driving the train. This is going to be another Emmet Walsh flick, one of the better ones, I might add. And so they're riding the train to Louisiana, and they get there, and they end up getting the collar around the neck. One of the scientists had an iron collar around his neck at the beginning of the movie, and he ended up getting his head sawed off. That was pretty cool. And then Kevin Kline and Will Smith are captured by the Loveless character. He pretends like he's friends with the redneck with the phonographic speaker instead of ear, played by Ted Levine. And he ends up massacring the entire Confederate army for betraying him somehow. That part wasn't explained in any detail whatsoever. But Loveless also likes to use gadgets, so he's got this funny looking tank thing that decimates the Confederate army as an act of revenge against Ted Levine, which I didn't understand. And then he captures Will Smith and Kevin Kline, and they've got this magnetic collar thing on their necks, and the spinning saw is attracted to the magnet in those neck things. So they're running through a cornfield. They end up doing some cartoonish stunt where they go like this and then fall down, and then the two blades crash, and they end up in some kind of it looks like a Dario Argento kind of muck pit. And then suddenly Kevin Kline magically finds his toolkit to remove the dog collar magnet things. and they end up going to Utah, which is where the president is joining the Intercontinental Railroad with some kind of golden spike, special inscription on it. And he keeps trying to hammer the thing, but the nail keeps falling over because Loveless is in this gigantic 60-foot tarantula, mechanical tarantula, and he's trying to bribe President Grant to surrender the United States so that he can carve it out to all these different countries, Mexico, Spain, and France, I guess. I don't know. A bunch of countries are going to carve out the United States, and then Loveless gets the upper left box of the United States. Grant refuses to surrender, so Loveless destroys the town. Then Kevin Kline and Will Smith make this flying contraption. They get on board the deck of the giant tarantula. I guess they used two different practical effects for the deck area against a green screen. One of the criticisms of this movie is they use a lot of green screen, but who cares? It's just mindless entertainment to me. And to me, that's not a legitimate criticism because it looks pretty good. I mean, they spent a lot of money on it, and Will Smith ridiculous music video is actually unintentionally funny and weird in a way. So kind of reminds you of the 90s a little bit, how ridiculous those lamestream music videos were. And I don't know, I just love this flick. It surprised me a lot. I wasn't expecting much, and of course it got tons of bad reviews. But the 3 reviews on Netflix are all 4 stars, 5 stars. So I guess I'm in that camp of so bad that it's good type of movie enjoyment. Coronavirus. Oh, I got a lot of updates. I haven't done a video in a while, but my best friend from Renton, Washington, she lost her job at Boeing. So she's getting roughly 60% of her salary from unemployment. And she's only got 2 months left. And then she says she's free. I don't know what that means. Hopefully it means she'll come back here to me and her parents. And that would be the ideal situation for me. The only real thing missing from my life is waiting here 13 years years for her to come back to California. Um, the Good Eggs, the place where I work part time. My coworker who cut my hair in his backyard last month, he refuses to cut it again this month. So I'm going to try to do buzz cut myself. And if I miss any areas, I ask my son to fix it. Contact tracing. Okay, so if somebody catches the coronavirus at my work, they're going to send everybody home in that office for 14 days workers' comp, and that could go on indefinitely. If somebody else in the office catches the coronavirus, so it's pretty bad, the dystopian nightmare. But my best friend is taking it all in stride. She's very positive. She's not depressed or anything. I'm just trying to survive. I think I can buy stocks next month. She's invested in stocks and real estate right now. So she's got a little nest egg that she can afford to retire early, I guess. I don't know how she's going to sell her house in Renton, Washington with the depressed housing market there, but it would be nice if she committed a little bit more. I was kind of surprised that she confided in me about being unemployed, because she spent so much money and effort into attending UC Berkeley engineering school, which is famous for engineering. And Boeing isn't even willing to have her work there anymore after almost 20 years of work. So that was a little surprising and kind of promising in a way. Just waiting for my part-time employer to become public. Hopefully this year. They're looking to expand, so that's a hopeful sign. They're growing they're doubling their business every 4 to 6 weeks, so they'll have to do something to sustain that kind of growth rate. But that's about it. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents worth of nothing after inflation. It's pretty scary what's happening. I'm not going to wear the mask if we go to Golden Gate Park today. It looks like half of the people jogging along the Lake Merced, I think, which is close by here. They're either jogging or walking, and half of them are wearing masks, even though San Francisco mayor required it. I'm just going to make up an excuse that I can't breathe in that mask. It's difficult to breathe. There is an exemption for that, and I don't think you have to prove that you have allergies or asthma, but that is in my medical record. And San Francisco Chronicle falsely reported that you have to show your papers when you get busted. I don't think that's the case, and even the mayor admits that it's going to be difficult to enforce. They just want you to look and see if somebody else is wearing a mask, that you should feel guilty that you're trying to kill somebody or something. Some sort of propaganda nonsense doesn't register in the critical thinking department. But anyways, I'm getting up to 20 minutes. I think I've spoken enough about the coronavirus. Highly recommend it. Check it out. I'll post the movie, the trailer, the music video in the description box. I forgot to do that just now, or 20 minutes ago, so I'll do that right now. Later.